Who are some of the most hated BFDI characters, or some of the most hated characters in BFDI history? Well, in today's video, we're going to be covering a few candidates for that. And these characters are like, you know, right? You know that they're already like pretty widely disliked by the community. You know what I mean? For their own respective reasons. But before we go ahead and get into that, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you enjoy video essays like this. I am trying to reach 6,000 subscribers, but I do want to thank you guys for the immense amount of support that I got on the last two videos. I'm going to continue doing these, because I can see that you guys like them. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Note that this isn't really in a particular order, so I'm just going to be going over these guys at random. So, the first candidate for one of the most hated BFDI characters is probably the most hated BFDI character, and that is Rocky. Now, the main reason why I think that Rocky is a pretty hated character is because people's main complaint against him is that he is a one-trick pony. He doesn't really do much in the show. Heck, even Grassy had a bit of a redemption arc, but Rocky, he just pukes. That's all he is just barf. And that is the main reason why a lot of people dislike him. I think if I'm not wrong, I think there's actually entire videos of people, explaining why they dislike Rocky. And I can see where some of this is coming from. I always thought Rocky was a pretty neat character, but that's because I had really low standards. But, like I said, that is the main kind of reason why people dislike Rocky, is because he doesn't do much besides, well, barfing or puking. That's kind of his only character aspect. Now, the next candidate for being one of the most hated BFDI characters is Saw. Saw was, very prominent in BFB pre-split, as almost every BFB or Teapot character was. Now, the main reason why a lot of people didn't really like Saw was because of the whole 8 gag. Almost every word or every sentence that Saw would say would be followed with the last syllable of 8. This was because Saw was infected by 8 Ball's fumes after he was crushed, killed, eliminated by Donut in pre-split. Now, a lot of people found this gag to be annoying over time, which is definitely understandable, and similarly to Rocky, I think people actually made their own respective videos talking about why they disliked this gag, and it was mentioned in other videos along with other BFDI characters that were sort of hated, and I honestly, personally think that this is understandable, right? There's a lot of widely disliked BFDI characters where it's like, I don't know. I don't know if this issue is really that bad, but I can definitely understand how a lot of people would think that this gag got old at some point. I didn't really have much of a problem with it, but it's probably because I was like a third grader at the time, like when BFB was released, and you know what I mean. I just didn't really think too much of it. I wasn't really paying attention to much of that. But kind of as I got older and as I started to watch it more, now I can kind of understand people's main gripe with that. But who knows? We might see a lot more of Saw in future episodes of Teapot, and you know what I mean. Saw might get somewhat of a redemption arc, similarly to Grassy, which is actually our next candidate. Grassy is more of a honorable mention considering the fact that he had a redemption arc. But before this redemption arc actually happened, Grassy was at first place for one of the most hated BFDI characters. That for sure, I do know people made entire hate videos, basically directing how much they actually hated Grassy. And, you know what I mean? It's kind of the similar reason it's kind of a similar reason that people did not like Rocky is because Grassy didn't really do much in the game, right? He didn't barf or anything like. He just said "I'm Grassy," technically his catchphrase, and that's all he really did most of the time. People had a major problem with this, and like I said before, that I know for sure people did make videos on that. And I don't really know if Grassy was mentioned in any other videos, but he had more of like standalone videos. In fact, Giant Snowball, an object show YouTuber, actually made that his banner. Subscribe or Grassy will die. I couldn't really find it, but yeah, it was there for those of you that know. Like I said, I would say like peak Grassy hate was like either in pre-split BFB or early Teapot. It's kind of a tie between those two seasons. But like I said, if you watched those seasons and you were very prevalent in the BFDI community around that time, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this was peak Grassy hate. The next candidate that we have is Tennis Ball, and the main reason why I say Tennis Ball is actually in this video is that there was a certain point in time where Tennis Ball was like hardcore simping for Golf Ball. And obviously people thought this was pretty cringe and they didn't really like this aspect of Tennis Ball's character. Like now it's kind of the exact opposite of what Grassy was in terms of how people perceived him. Is because I don't think I don't think Tennis Ball got any standalone videos about what people thought of him. I think he was more mentioned in other videos about like other characters, like a group of characters, right? I don't know if he got his own standalone video. I made one on the downfall of Tennis Ball. I think it was last year. I don't know though. Like I said, I don't like Tennis Ball. He's doing a bit better now, but I don't know. I don't know if he's at peak hate anymore though. Like I think peak Tennis Ball hate was back in kind of like early Teapot. A lot of characters were hated in early Teapot. But yeah, that's just kind of like my personal take on the Tennis Ball hate wave. Now this next character, this is definitely a very interesting one, is because they're kind of hated, but not really for the reason that you would think. Let's just get into it. Eggy is the next candidate, and I think the main reason why people actually didn't really like Eggy that much was because, like, a person on YouTube, a BFDi YouTuber that I'm pretty sure most of you know about, like, was actually defending Eggy in every single right. In fact, he made an over an hour long video explaining why Eggy was one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated character in BFDi. Now, this wasn't like the only reason, of course. Like, there was that Teapot 2 subplot where Eggy and Basketball had that conflict, and that was a reason why Eggy wasn't really the most respected character. But like I said, both not Tennis Ball, but both Basketball and Eggy were kind of stupid in that episode, so I'll give her a pass on that one. Like I said, this is more of an honorable mention too, kind of like Grassy, is because unlike the other characters in this video, Eggy isn't really that much hated or that kind of criticized or critiqued or ridiculed compared to the other characters. Now, before Clock kind of solved things with Winner, people didn't really perceive Clock that well either, and it was for a similar reason as Tennis Ball. He was kind of hardcore simping for Winner. And you know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? Clock was a huge fan of Winner's work and how underrated he was in his mind, but that did kind of cause Clock to go somewhat insane, like almost worshiping Winner, is because of how underrated he believed that Winner is. And, you know, the idea of Winner being the exact opposite of Loser in their whole lore thing is very interesting, but Clock took it a few steps ahead, like a few steps too far. And there were actually some people who started to dislike Clock's character because of this. You know, they might have found him a bit annoying, is because he was always talking about Winner. In fact, from the moment he saw Winner to the moment he was permanently eliminated, that's all he talked about was, well, Winner. And that's all he wanted to talk about, and all who he wanted to be around was Winner. And when the other contestants in his team didn't really match the same energy that he did when they first met Winner, he was a bit upset. And like I said, even for the other characters on his team or the other contestants on his team, I can kind of see their point of view. This guy's going crazy over someone that he just met, and well, yeah, Winner's, kind of character is very interesting. Like, obsessing over them is definitely a bit much, don't you think? Now, Fiery Jr. is the last candidate that we're going to be talking about in this video, and I think the main reason why a lot of people disliked Fiery Jr. as a character was because of his whole attitude and how he just behaved towards other characters. He behaved incredibly negatively and was kind of a jerk and pre-split towards the other contestants. People didn't like this, and Fiery Jr. was eliminated with over 10,000 votes in his respective episode. And that was like, it was a whole celebration thing when he got eliminated, as the other contestants on his team perceived him as kind of a jerk, and the viewers did too. That's why they voted him out. And I think Fiery Jr. has definitely gotten a little bit better in recent episodes and in recent times that we've seen him. But at that time was definitely peak Fiery Jr. hate just because of how he behaved towards other people and how he behaved with the game and just his character in general. And I think, there's definitely still some people out there that don't like Fiery Jr. Heck, his own creator actually disowned him is because he was a massive jerk. And like I said just a bit ago, you know what I mean? Fiery Jr., he's getting better. He's not the same jerk that he used to be back in pre-split, and I think that is definitely saving his character. And hopefully, we get to see a lot more of him in the future, and I hope they build upon his character a lot more. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoy watching videos like this, like BFDi video essays, then consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. And if you really, really like these videos, then consider joining the channel. I have a couple of tiers, you know what I mean? You can have members-only videos, updates about my object show, exclusive BFDi videos where it's more of my own opinion, and yeah, like uncensored content for the documentaries that I post. I post documentaries like once a month. But yeah, if you want to see more of that, videos early, all that stuff, you want to see more of these videos, more shows, consider subscribing to the channel. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. One thing that I do want to say though is that I do read my comments. I don't heart a lot of them, but I do read them, and all the nice things that you guys say, I appreciate it. And yeah, that's enough of my yapping. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried.